Welcome back folks, and welcome back to a new video. So today we're gonna be taking a look at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because yes, it has been officially announced by Warhorse Studios yesterday. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is coming out this year for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S and PC, and I couldn't be more excited because if you're not following my channel, all those years back when KCD, 1 was released, I was a huge fan and still am of this game, and even to this day, this is one of my favorite RPG games of all time. And the reason for it was just the insane immersion I was able to get from the game. Pretty much being a first-person title, you kinda have to immerse yourself in it, and because they were using the environment and props around you to really take stuff with your hand, and then when you're learning to fight, you actually had to learn how to fight because everything in this game came out from you and how you learned what other people were showing you during training. Then it all came to, like, for example, shooting a bow and arrow, where you had to actually practice in the game properly, like go somewhere into a forest and then practice with that bow and arrow so you actually know how to use it later on in the game. So just that experience of actually learning through it, and the character development and the story, which was really amazing, was, just a big plus for me as a gamer back then. And through this entire time, to be honest, I was really keen on seeing what they have in store for us, because a lot of people were saying that they want to try out something new. It might not even be a medieval game, and I'm gonna be honest, through this entire time I thought, yeah, they're definitely going to release Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It makes sense because, as even they said in that announcement video, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be everything that they wanted the first game to be, but they didn't have the experience or the funding or the time to do it. And now if you take a look at the February of 2024, it is reported that they have sold 6 million copies of KCD1, which is honestly amazing. So now that you take all of that time from the release until today, all of the experience and, well, ultimately the money which they have gotten have now translated into this game. And going from, the trailer itself, which shows not too many things overall, but it does show some cutscenes, some gameplay, I am honestly in awe because graphically this is going to look really good. If you just take the colors and the shading and the quality of the nature, I mean, this is pretty much still what I loved from the first game, because walking through the forest and then hunting and then, encountering some bandits or some humans there was a really enjoyable and kind of dangerous experience. So just to have this, graphically updated now and, into a more modern setting of that, technical perspective, I think this is going to be just a big game for this company. Now, speaking of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the story is going to be set right after everything which has happened in the first game. So my advice to you is to really play the first game if you haven't, because a lot of the characters which we do see in the trailer, including our main character Henry, is going to return. Now, Warhorse actually said that they are planning to put a lot of systems in the game, or, well, story explanations for everyone who is just jumping into this for the first time, but to really experience the overall progression of Henry from the start until the end, because the character development is huge. You literally learn how to read in this game. I recommend playing it. And also regarding the engine, because this was a big discussion, are they going to make the game in CryEngine as well? Yes, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be done in CryEngine again. The reason for it is that, as it's said by the studio and the companies, that all of their internal pipelines are pretty much kinda adapted for CryEngine, and I do believe they just know how to work in it, and they believe they can, make the game that they want in this engine, so they're pretty much going to stick with it. And besides that, they're gonna be including some new weapons in the game, like crossbow and some early firearms, so don't expect anything huge in that sense. This is still a late medieval Bohemia, so the guns themselves are not going to be that prevalent. Most of this, combat is gonna be done with the good old melee weapons. And it's actually a much bigger game in scope. Right now they have about 250 employees, that are working on this game, and the actual like in-game cutscene hours goes from 3 hours to 5 hours from the first game. So the actual like the map is going to be twice as big. So that's cool, like there's gonna be a lot of stuff to explore, and of course, as I said, some of the characters that we know from the game, from the first game, like the Sir Hans Capon, is also coming back, and he's going to be, well, Henry's traveling companion and friend. And also they talked a little bit about the main city in the game where majority of the stuff is going to be taking place. It's going to be Kuttenberg. And Kuttenberg, as they said by Daniel Vavra, is going to be huge. And as he said, it's really big. It's even too big, in my opinion. So I really think that what they want to do here is really give you this immersive medieval, RPG, which is historically, somewhat accurate as much as you can to do it, but they really want to make, for example, combat historically accurate but still fun in that way. Now, it will be interesting to see how much combat itself has been updated from the first game, because, combat in the first game can be fun. Definitely. I noticed later on in the game, obviously, as you get better and as you learn new moves, as you learn how to fight, you are going to be very deadly in that sense. So by the end of the game, especially like in my playthrough, I remember I was pretty much just mowing down enemies relatively easily. Of course, some of the issues which do arrive in the first game is that when you're attacked by more people, which can be a little bit tricky to navigate because sometimes the camera doesn't work properly, and it's not really easy to get yourself out of that situation. But to be honest, if you're talking from a realistic perspective, fighting multiple people IRL wouldn't be easy at all. But of course, being that this is a video game itself, I do kinda want to see how that combat was updated, so at least, as they said, they want to maintain it historically accurate, which is something I really do like, but at the same time, I do hope that just mechanically, it feels more better and it flows a little bit better than before. But I'm not going to lie, I'm really glad that they're continuing the story, because if you haven't played the game, and for those who have, like the character development and just the twists and turns which go through the story, adventures that Henry goes through in the first game are just great. And I'm also glad that they're sticking with Kingdom Come Deliverance and they haven't done something else, because to be honest, maybe it's my own subjective kind of a thing, but I just wanted to, have an updated, more expensive and bigger KCD game. And we also have seen some of the story segments, but nothing too much. Of course, as it is, something is going to go incredibly wrong at the start, and we have to fight, and to reclaim some stuff without, spoiling too much, because I don't want to go and spoil too much of the first game, because I know that a lot of people still haven't played it, and I really want you to experience this without me going into some endgame spoilers. And also, I'm just going to take one quote from IGN, which has been told by developers. The story and plot of KCD has evolved. It's darker, deeper, and more cinematic, yet also crueler, with pivotal decisions and plot twists that challenge the player's consciousness. This is nice because, yeah, there were some moments and decisions in the first game where you went like, okay, should I really do this? How is this going to revolve around, my character later on? And, some of the decisions you have made had a bigger, some had smaller impact overall. But it really does seem that here in KCD 2, those decisions are going to be a lot more substantial and a lot bigger. But again, I really cannot get over how good the nature actually looks like in this game. Like some of the gameplay stuff, and especially some of the scenes in the dark where you can see, like, for example, some of the lights flickering and then the shadowing in the background, like the full darkness. I just cannot wait to play this, because I couldn't believe, like, all of a sudden that in 2024, besides all of the games we had to play so far, KCD2 is also going to be on the list. Now, of course, I will have a deeper look into the trailer, I will have a full analysis of everything we have seen so far, and I will be talking more about this game, of course, once it comes out. So this is everything for this video. I will, of course, make more videos about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I will do a full analysis of the trailer later down the line, and of course, once the game comes out, I will be covering it. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button for more, and let me know down below in the comments what do you think about all of this. Also, huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and as always, stay classy everyone, and I will see you next time in a new video. Bye bye.